What a season this has been, am I right? Hello beautiful people, I hope you are doing well and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today, as you can see by the title, I am giving you guys a review, and today we're going to be talking about part 2 of season 3 of Bridgerton. Let's get started. Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this video nearly didn't happen. I have been postponing it because the post-show depression was real and I absolutely didn't have the energy to talk about Bridgerton. Finally have the energy to talk about it with you guys, so grab a drink, grab a snack, let's sit down and talk about part 2. Oh, and quick side note, I pretty much reacted and slightly reviewed to the entirety of part 2 already through my TikToks and my YouTube shorts. So I feel like everything that I've mentioned on there, I won't mention on here, or at least not in as much detail. So you can go watch those if you wanna. If I am not lazy, I will link all the playlists and the videos and everything in the description to all the Bridgerton videos that I've made so far. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Polin and Penelope. Oh, what a whirlwind. The last 4 episodes were just a lot, with the whole Lady Whistledown thing and Polin finding out and them just not being on good terms with each other. It was a lot and my heart could not handle, because this is my couple. I've said it time and time again that this is my favorite couple, so the stress was real, I will not lie, but I loved the dramatics, the theatrics, you know, certain scenes. Oh, and quick side note, this review is coming from someone who has not read the books, okay? So I might be asking questions here and there, but like those questions are most probably rhetorical. If they are related to future things, then they are rhetorical, but if it's something that happens in the book that season 3 is based off, feel free to answer. So yeah, just note that. Okay, there were certain things that I wish had happened or had been expanded a bit more when it comes to the whole story of Polin and Penelope. Like, one thing I truly wished we had seen was, we see how there is, you know, a breakdown in communication and everything after Lady Whistledown's identity is revealed to Polin, right? And Polin is like, we ain't sleeping on the same bed, I'm sleeping on the sofa, da, da, da. Okay? I kind of wished that we had seen a scene where once they've made up, you know, and everything is alrighty, a scene where, I don't know, maybe Penelope is like laying in bed and it's time for, you know, nighttime, and then Polin walks into the room, goes into the bed, you know, they lay down, they just look at each other, like just a scene where we see him go back into the bedroom, and it's an actual scene, they talk about it, and I just wish we had seen, like, that would have been such a sweet and heartwarming scene, you know? However, one thing that we did get from Polin is him saying I love you to Penelope. Oh, I was living for that. Especially after they have the conversation, the 3 brothers have a conversation, and Kanthony is like, you need to tell her, and I was like, I've been saying the same thing. But the whole Lady Whistledown thing was a lot, hey, was it not? And I was with Eloise when Eloise was like, just let it go, just let the identity go and let Cressida take the fall for it. I was like, yes, that was such a simple way out of it, but of course, you know, in a drama like this, you can't just get the simple way out. They just had to add more drama onto everything. And Penelope was ready to pay the girl. She was ready to pay Cressida, and Polin was not having it. And Polin just made things worse. I was so done with Polin. And I'm so happy Penelope and Eloise made up. I love that friendship. I've loved it since episode 1, season 1. And shame it was so sad seeing them not be on good terms. So I'm so glad they finally made up. Wow, not made out. Made up. Although Penelope did a lot of very questionable things, very hurtful things in season 2, but you know, forgiveness work. Now, a story I did not see coming is Francesca getting married. Yes, they were enjoying each other's company, her and John and everything, but I did not expect to get 2 weddings this season. I thought, yes, they were going to introduce the story and it would be like a long running story, almost kind of like Polin and Penelope, but of course not a friends to lovers trope, but something like that in terms of the longevity, right? And then when we finally get to Francesca's story, then we see them finally deciding, marriage. I can see every Bridgerton kid has a book, right? So in my head, I'm like, if we kind of see Francesca's entire story unfold alongside Polin and Penelope's story, then what on earth is her book going to be about? And the only thing I could come to terms with, like, that could make sense as to what Francesca's story is going to be about is maybe Francesca gets a divorce and it's like, second chance at love type of story. So that threw me for a loop. And then they introduced this lady named Michaela, who is John's cousin, right? Yeah. And I'm like, who the heck is she now? Who is she? The interaction is so awkward and so weird between her and Francesca at the end of that episode. I'm like, what is going on? Because this lady's like, I don't know who you are. And Francesca is just looking at her like a deer caught in headlights. And I was just like, what is happening? I was so confused. I seriously contemplated reading Francesca's book after that because I was just so confused as to what all of that meant. But you know which storyline had my heart? The storyline of Violet and Marcus. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. Although I was so done with Lady Danbury actually kept blocking the couple. I'm like, what on earth is going on? And I was actually waiting, for the revelation as to why Lady Danbury does not like her brother at all. And then we find out some sort of betrayal had happened, and I'm like, yeah, what betrayal? What? You're telling me Lady Danbury was holding on to a grudge all of these years over something this boy did when he was 10? I was so done. I'm like, let Anderson get Violet. Let it be. Also, Violet. Violet, when Anderson comes through to the house, right, and they sit there and he's eating his little cookies and everything, and Violet can't help but stare. I'm like, okay, now I see where your kids get it from. But also, like with that scene, I was so done because I'm like, guys, if I selling petroleum jelly because guys need to the lips when bash. I'm like, when they had their first dance at the ball, my heart, like I am rooting for them. I wouldn't even be mad at getting something like Queen Charlotte vibes, something in between season 3 and season 4, and have it follow the story of Violet and Marcus. But at the same time, I really want to get a prequel of Violet and Edmund. So I don't know, I just want a Violet related story, clearly. But you know who I was done with this season? Benedict Bridgerton. But to be honest, I'm always done with Benedict because he does certain things every single season and I'm like, why? At this point, I'm like, Benedict, can you please just lay off human interaction for a sec? Just because the whole story of him being in like a throuple or something, like the whole story of him being in a throuple, I was so done, especially because I felt like his scenes were just taking away from everybody else. We could have had more important scenes. And what frustrated me so much with this whole Benedict story is that they had laid the foundation for him so well in the beginning, because in the beginning we see Kate and Anthony, they're out honeymooning, and he was like the acting Viscount for a hot minute. And when they came back, he said to himself that he enjoyed being the Viscount for a sec because he felt he had a sense of responsibility, he had a reason to be there, and didn't feel like he was just floating about existing, right? And it's like, that was such a profound thing. And if they had just kept that going for the rest of the season, we see this growth with Benedict slowly coming into himself, slowly discovering, his place in the world. That would have been such a good segue into season 4 and his story. But now he's just a mess. Which is why I feel like having Eloise's story be next kind of sort of makes sense for me, because we see Eloise, she's coming back to her Amandla state, she's trying to make a change in the world, and so she goes to Scotland because she wants to see, other parts of the world. So she goes to Scotland with Francesca and John, and I feel like that is a good thing because she can come back, even more bright, even more, because she has seen and learned new things outside of Mayfair. But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But at least we got Kate and Anthony as well. They were so cute. And I am proud of myself for clocking the fact that Kate and Anthony, well, Kate was pregnant from the trailer.
Flashback.
I don't know whether I'm reading into things, but it low-key seems like Kate might be pregnant. And they might have rocked up and be like, we are with child.
End of flashback.
I thought I was tripping, but she was right. Also, can I just say, this is the season that I enjoyed Anthony the most. Just seeing a more goofier side of Anthony made me so happy. I actually missed Anthony this season because we didn't see that much of the couple. I actually missed him. If you had told me last season that I would be missing Anthony Bridgerton, I would not have believed you. But now with the whole Lady Whistledown thing, I'm just wondering, what is that going to look like going forward? Because the truth comes out, right, that Penelope is Lady Whistledown is Penelope. And even though the Queen grants her the right to continue publishing, I'm still like, I don't think it's going to be the same, right? I just can't help but wonder what this whole Lady Whistledown thing is going to look like going forward, you know? And I think that is a huge reason why this felt like an end of an era for me. This season felt like a series finale. And I think that's probably why the post-show depression hit me so hard, because it was almost like I was mourning a show that's over. I don't think Bridgerton is going to be the same from this point on, and that low-key makes me sad. Plus everything just surrounding this season as a whole, just everything, like the marketing and the PR and them going on tour and everything, it just felt like the last hurrah, you know, like we're going out with a bang. As much as I absolutely enjoyed everything surrounding this season and the season itself, now it's just like, now I'm sad. But I had a blast this season, you know. I randomly decided one day to start filming Bridgerton content and I never looked back, although I do believe that I was very much high on fatigue that day.
Flashback.
Let me just tell you guys what happens in like 5 seconds, right? So it's literally just Penelope and Polin in a room together and they're talking. Well, Penelope's doing most of the talking, and in its essence, Penelope is basically saying, Polin, I want you back, bro.
End of flashback.
I had just come back from a 14-hour trip from the Eastern Cape to Gauteng, and I got home, didn't even sleep. I took my phone and I started recording up at the sneak peek of season 3, and I've never looked back, although I look back on that video and I cringe. We got the tour. We saw them going all around the world. We had our own little Bridgerton premiere this side that I didn't go to, and we all cried about it. If you follow me on TikTok, we all cried together about the fact that they didn't make the whole thing, the whole tour public, because, you know, even us, we wanted to see Lady Danbury, but we moved. But yeah, at least we got the Bridgerton experience that I went to, and it was so cute, man. I absolutely enjoyed myself. Girl, your girl got herself a Bridgerton inspired mug. I mean, this season was very eventful. So yeah, man, I think all of that combined just, it added to the post-show depression that I felt after episode 8. But you will let me know what you guys thought of the season. What are you thinking of Bridgerton going forward? All of that good stuff, you will let me know. So until next time, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, switch on post notifications, all that amazing stuff. Until next time, stay amazing. Bye.